Alrighty, there we go. Hey everyone, I hope you guys have all been having a fantastic day. There's a lot of crypto news to talk about today, but before that, please make sure to hit the like button and to subscribe if you guys are new. It just helps out the stream when it comes to the algorithm. So let's get to it. Loki wants to say hello, but he may be camera shy right now. He's looking for Tori. Yeah, he is anxious just like I'm anxious. But anyway, oh wait, Loki, where's Loki at? Yep. Sorry, I'm already leaning back as it is. So his weight on top of me made me lean back even more. Want to say hi one more time? All right. Let's get into it, everybody. Hey Mo, happy to see you, my man. A lot of craziness happening over the next week or so. But just before we get into some of the meat of stuff, what's going on here. Just a reminder that this Thursday, tomorrow, we do have ADP employment numbers coming out. If these are bad, this could be very good for the market. Kind of how we had bad economic data today. That could also help out, or that also did help out Bitcoin here. So just so you guys know that. Then Friday we have unemployment numbers. So for the next couple days here, maybe even going into the weekend, we are going to be looking at more volatility. The volatility will affect Bitcoin to a degree, but I do believe the focus of this is always going to come back to interest rates, especially when it comes to economic data, right? And because of that, I do believe altcoins are going to have a pretty good move one way or the other. So if you guys are available during those early times, which in this time is like 8:30 in the morning, that's 5:30 my time. I'm asleep. But if you guys are awake, you guys can trade and make some good money right there. So just so you guys know, keep an eye out for the next couple mornings here. They're going to be very interesting. And that momentum may take us into the weekend for some very fun things where you might see a few altcoins here or there popping off or crashing and burning. Hopefully popping, because unemployment data should not be great. Shouldn't, but we'll see, right? All right, so as far as news and stuff is concerned today, this was actually pretty interesting because it's been kind of dry as far as news has been, for the last few days when it comes to cryptocurrency. But the Ether exchange reserves have fallen to a 3-year low as ETFs and corporate treasuries soak up supply. There is a lot of demand for Ethereum right now, just like there's a lot of demand for Bitcoin and some other stuff out there. But if you guys are looking for something to play around with altcoin season and do something more of a leveraged long that you hold for a while, this is definitely going to be one of those things that you guys can look forward to here. Whenever Ethereum does blow up, there's just not going to be enough of that on the exchanges, and you're going to see the bidding war start. Basically, a lot of demand, not enough supply. That leads to a skyrocketing price. We've been there before, but it's something that's going to happen most likely again. So if you guys are looking at Ethereum, you guys might even consider some leverage plays on top of it. And it's also just nice to see that there are other tokens out there besides Bitcoin that are getting their ETFs. You are seeing corporate America kind of embrace, and they're buying it just like we are, but we bought it like months ago and months ago and months ago, years ago in some circumstances, right? So it's nice to see that we got in before corporate America, which rarely happens. I think that's why crypto's so kind of weird right now. They saw where it was. They know there's a bunch of regular people that have it, and they're trying to figure out a way to shake everybody out, but they just can't do it because it's a worldwide phenomenon, right? Worldwide marketplace. All right. Next up, the U.S. regulators grant polymarket relief on the event contract reporting rules. I don't really care too much about this in terms of like what's happening with it, but I just want to remind you guys, there's a lot of politics at play when it comes to cryptocurrency, and the more you read articles like this, or if you want to listen to it, it's only a minute and a half long, basically. You're starting to see the government is really giving exemptions to some of these cryptocurrency companies, where maybe the last administration would be saying, hey, no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this, right? There's no law against it, but we're going to say you can't do it. Again, we're kind of in this new age, at least while Trump is president. We don't know how the next Republican or Democrat is going to govern or have their policies set around cryptocurrencies. But for now, we are seeing a pro cryptocurrency government and a lot of pro cryptocurrency policies, because I don't think something like this would have actually gotten passed back in the day here, guys. I really don't. But what do you call? We'll have to figure out more about this a little bit later. I think what I'm going to do is probably do another story about this down the road. But every time the government kind of steps in, it's like, hey, no, you're good to go. I think that's always a very nice thing for us. This was something that I thought, there's no real value in this, but I just thought it was hilarious. Astrology can make you a better crypto trader. It has been foretold. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about this over the years. I don't know if many of you guys have heard about this. I think we even had a few members here or there on the channel that actually talked about this type of stuff. But it's called, psychic services, which include astrology and other divinations, have become a $2.2 billion business in the United States alone. And people are thinking about, what does astrology mean for cryptocurrencies, technical analysis, and stuff like that. Which I'm just like, I'll see. It says, while many crypto traders are busying themselves with wacky Fibonacci charts and Bollinger Bands, there's a growing cohort of traders who say prices can be predicted by crypto astrology. Like, sorry, there's a fly. I forgot I have my door open right now. I think it's just a bunch of shit. But I'm always interested to see what people have to say about this type of stuff because I feel it's so freaking weird. Like, I was going to make one for me. Cardi B nearly fell asleep during the closing arguments of her $20 million assault trial. She's probably having some great nights, right? Okay. Now, last little thing here before we start diving into more of the technical analysis and what's happening with the rest of the altcoin markets and things like that. The U.S. Fed is to hold a conference on digital assets amid challenges to leadership. This was something I hadn't really been expecting to see here, but I do think it is a little bit interesting here. The Fed is starting to take more notice, and they are going to have a conference on the 21st here, October 21st. Now, this, again, a couple months away. But I'm going to keep this just on my calendar to see if anything important has been said. The Fed is slowly having to move to being more pro-crypto because the government is more pro-crypto. We might hear some big announcement coming in October, which should be when altcoins are making a good push because that's usually when altcoin season is humming and running, right? So just keep an eye on that one here, October 21st. All right, nothing really happened in the stock market day today at all. At all, nothing happened here, guys. Nothing happened. Dow was down a little bit. The S&P was up a little bit, and the Nasdaq was up a little bit. Oil was, I don't remember where it was, and the VIX over here was down. But right now it's the pre-market, so it doesn't matter as much. But we had a pretty decent day, just nothing crazy happening. However, when it comes to cryptocurrency, CoinMarketCap.com did a new update where its default page is trending and not top, which is pretty interesting. So maybe every now and again we'll talk about some stuff. But I think like people can boost the tokens they like, and it can move them up even higher, right, onto the trending tab. So if you guys are looking for maybe opportunities where there's some money behind it or there's some big movements happening, you guys might look at that. Now, I'm looking at Purple Pepe, market cap of 25 million. If you were to toss some money in there, you might as well just toss it in at $5 or something like that. Collector Crypt, 400 million. I don't know. BNB attestation service. I don't know. But there's a bunch of random coins in here. I would say most are trash, but you got some like Kronos, which have been getting talked about a lot over the last few days. But very, very interesting. And this website doesn't even work. I'm scrolling down on my mouse right now and it's like glitching out. I think it's just because it's a new website here as part of their trending tab. The next up we got top here. You can see for the last 24 hours on the very left, there's a decent amount of greens today. You got Story up 10%, Pump Fund up 6%, Meme Corp's up 21% here. That one's up to $1 billion market cap. Last 7 days, it's already up 128%, which is pretty astonishing here. I don't think we have this in any of our portfolios, but it is something nice to see that's moving up higher. And everything else seems to be meh for today, kind of like up 1%, down 1%, nothing too crazy. All right, our portfolios, they're up 1% for the group one, up 0.5% for the fart coin, and then up 2.5% for the high risk ones. Again, nothing too crazy today, which I think is absolutely fine. Sometimes it's just a boring day, and I feel like we've been having more and more of those boring days. From the technical perspective of Bitcoin here, we're up against a 20-day moving average that is going to be a little bit of resistance right now. Momentum has just turned green, although you can already see it's like a new trading day here. So we have an opportunity. I'm waiting to see what happens. I'm waiting. If Bitcoin does break out above the 20-day moving average, you could expect us to probably hit up to here towards the 50, which will be around $115,000 to $115,200. Which I think can definitely happen here, especially with some of the economic news we're having over the next few days. But I just want to remind you guys that we do see some weekly chart bearishness here. And it's rare, I won't say it's impossible, but it's rare that we don't go into a negative MACD, stochastic, RSI kind of momentum shift without paying some type of price, right? For example, back over here, negative, negative, back over here, this one went negative for a few weeks, and this was the last time we didn't have something negative happen. We went down for a little bit, bounced back up, and had a following good week, which was pretty interesting. Now, there was some news about that kind of got Bitcoin pumping. Regardless, it's happened before where, we've had a bad MACD, bad stochastic, bad RSI, and we've still managed to flip around. Hopefully that comes around, but I'm not going to place any money on that type of thing happening here. So I'm still a little bit more bearish. Back in time here, bearish, worked out. Oh, yeah, look at that, bearish. So more often than not, like 90%, when we have a red MACD, we typically do fall down even more. But again, I don't expect us to fall anywhere down like here to like 70,000, 80,000. I think it might just be 1 or 2 more weeks of dipping here, being kind of slow. And then once we get the rate cut happening over here, maybe we pop off a little bit, sideways a little bit. Then maybe through October, we can try to start moving up and upward a little bit more. But yeah, it's short term. It looks nice, but I think it's just kind of a little bit of a trap here. Day traders galore, swing traders, I guess we just have to wait a little bit more here, which isn't terrible, but, we all want to get our easy prices and whatnot. All right, let's go over here. We can chit and chill for a little bit. My voice is okay right now. My chest pains have gone away, but I have a sore throat acting up now, so whatever's happening to me is weird. So I'm kind of sick, but not sick, so I'm just going to take today light and just chill with you guys. Also, I mean, there's not so much happening today, right? Yeah, there's just nothing really crazy happening, and I kind of like that, though. It's kind of nice to relax and kind of chill with you guys a little bit more. And hey, crypto, hello, or Helio, maybe? Yeah, heading lower. Well, the weekly chart would agree with you right there, right? And hey, Vicky, Jolts came in lower, but we want unemployment report to come in higher to fuel interest rate cuts? No, we want unemployment report to come in. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. You want the unemployment rate to be higher. Yes. You want more unemployed. You want worse economic data, because that worse economic data will justify the Fed cutting rates faster and doing more cuts before the end of the year. Now, on top of that, if we have low inflation with that very bad economic data, that's the dream right there for having a really nice altcoin season. However, if we have something with like rising inflation and lower economic data, you'll see the markets continue to go higher because we are going to be having cuts, but the rally might not extend for months and months and months and months, or I should say quarters and quarters and quarters, right? It may just last for 6 months. It may just last for 3 months. Maybe it doesn't hit like some crazy level over a year's period of time, right? So we want to see low inflation, bad economic data. Right now we're seeing bad economic data with higher inflation. Hopefully that will change, but as of now, that's pretty much what we're getting. But remember, next week we're getting PPI, I believe, and CPI data. So we're going to have this week jobs, economic data that can really give us a boost into the weekend despite the bad technicals here, right? Or if it's really good economic data, that'll push Bitcoin down really fast. But that CPI, PPI data coming out next week, it could lead to a perfect storm either way. So, but at least for the economic data coming out tomorrow and Friday when it comes to jobs and ADP numbers, unemployment rates, you could say that if it's really good or bad, that momentum should carry on into the weekend, which may be very interesting because altcoins are kind of looking like they want to pop right now. Whether or not they're able to really depends on if Bitcoin can actually have this move above that 20-day moving average, which for Bitcoin would give it a $2,000 to $3,000 plus day, if you will. But for now, it doesn't look like it's going to happen unless we have that good economic data coming out tomorrow. So if we have that big breakout, it probably wouldn't happen tonight. It'd probably happen tomorrow morning. And hey, GOP, happy to see you, my man. And hey, CT, I'm feeling a little bit better, like I said, but it's just it's kind of funky. I just took some ADHD pills a few minutes ago, but I haven't really taken anything for my cold yet, or whatever it is. My chest doesn't hurt when I do big breaths anymore. That's a plus. My throat hurts a little bit right now, and I don't know why it's happening, but for now it's okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the heck is going on with all that. But it's better than it was yesterday. Let's say that, right? And hey, LW, happy to see my man. Or Al, yeah. Hey, Al, happy to see my man. Fartcoin, exactly. Just talked about that a few seconds ago. And hey, Jamrock, man, hope you're doing well. Salesforce laying off 4,000 workers. Again, the economy is slowing down. The Fed was ignoring this, or how do I say this? The Fed showed a little bit of incompetence by relying so much on data that they knew was not extremely reliable. And now that they're playing catch up to it, but they're not rushing in to play catch up. They're waiting for those dates to kind of come along. Remember, even though there was no FOMC meeting in August, they could have still came together, had an emergency meeting, and cut interest rates. The goal here for them is like, I guess for us as a whole, right? We want interest rates, yes. We want lower inflation, yes. And we know right now the jobs market is getting worse. Jobs markets are a little bit more finicky than interest rates and, you may say, really inflation. When jobs numbers really start to go the wrong way, they start to go wrong very, very quickly, which could lead us into a recession. And at this point in time, if America went into a recession, it would be the fault of Jerome Powell and the Fed and not Trump in this circumstance, because inflation hasn't really spiked the way the Fed said it was going to spike. If you guys recall back in April, we had Liberation Day and the market was falling off a cliff. Everybody was panicking. We were doing some dollar cost averaging and some buying, but we were kind of in a wait and see type of mentality. If you guys had watched CNBC or Bloomberg or any of the mainstream news organizations, they were talking about how this was going to crash the economy within a couple months. Inflation was going to go back up to 6% in a few months, and everything was going to be horrible, right? Well, none of that came to pass, but the Fed managed interest rates as if it was going to pass in terms of inflation skyrocketing, right? Because they thought the job market is still going to be fine, but inflation is going to skyrocket. Where in fact it was kind of the opposite. Inflation's been going up steadily, but nothing of like, oh my God, this is monumental. But unfortunately for the Fed, the labor market has just started to go down very, very quickly. And it's a few factors, right? You could say one, not as big of a thing, but you can say one of them is tariffs, right? When tariffs come along, it's a tax on consumers, but in reality, it's a tax on corporations that import the goods. If they're seeing their profits go down, they can make their money back in a few different ways to increase their overall margins. That can be to raise prices on me and you, the consumer, or right now, because of AI, they can just say, hey, we're going to be the same we're going to have the same productivity, but we're going to lay off a bunch of people because we know that AI can fill in the gaps where we need it to. And then it kind of goes on to the crux of why this is happening at a crucial point right now. White collar individuals are slowly being replaced with AI, right? That AI, I mean, it is so interesting how it's like being developed. It's coming along very, very quickly. But again, this AI thing really popped off in 2023. It's only been 2 years, and look how everybody is using AI most of them, like do parts of the day. College kids are using it, all different types of AIs, whatever. Everybody's using it. And because everybody's using it right now, everybody's becoming a little bit more productive, which has been helpful for the overall economy. However, white collar individuals that, let's say, they lose their job, their accounting gig, right? They're an assistant to an accountant. They lose their job. There's not many other jobs they can go into where they can just like slip into the position, learn it very quickly, and start working. There's a lot of jobs like that are being lost right now, and they're never going to come back. They're going to, a legal assistant, you can just talk into a custom built AI for your company that knows all laws, has every law book plugged into it, and you could have a discussion with it, and it'll point out all these law things in all these cases that you could bring up in front of a judge. Now, people aren't using that yet, but give it a few months, give it a couple years, and just say you have an AI with a database that has every single, and I mean every single law book built into it, every single case law built into it, everything anybody would ever want to know about law online. I would rather have that than a human. You know, maybe I'll be making so much money I can hire a human, but I'm not going to be paying them top dollar. I'm going to pay them like $30,000, $40,000 a year because all the hard work is being done by the AI, and the AI doesn't require health insurance, dental. You know, why should I have the person? That's just me trying to be helpful to the overall economy, but that's not really how businesses operate. Businesses are really greedy individuals that want to, I guess, help out their shareholders, but that's basically it. Have I tried emergency? I've tried it before, but I didn't try it for this one. Really, for this, it's been kind of a weird passive thing. My immune system seems to be holding whatever virus or whatever infection is going on in my body. It's holding it up pretty well. I'm just not trying to strain myself. I haven't been smoking cigars. Today's the day where I'd be smoking a cigar with you. That is not happening today. It'll happen next one day for sure. But yeah, I haven't been smoking cigars, haven't been doing anything, haven't been drinking alcohol. I'm still in the middle of my fast. Maybe the fast is helping me out a little bit right now, but pretty darn simple. I'm just hoping that whatever it is passes, because it went from my chest to my throat, and now my throat is feeling a little bit better, but it still hurts a little bit. It's a little tender. I think because I had some coughs a while ago, so we'll see how it turns out. I think I'm okay for now. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll have to see. Hey, Lisa, Loki's laying down like right here, but I'm doing well. Loki's doing well, and I think I dodged it. We'll have to see. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It's yeah, I don't feel anything. It feels like there's something there, but not there. It's kind of a weird feeling. But yeah, so I'm gonna take a few days off from smoking and that type of stuff and see how it goes. No drinking alcohol. I'm not gonna go out tomorrow either. I will go out and smoke some cigars on Friday because I don't think my chest is gonna feel anything different, as long as my throat's okay. But Friday is a friend of mine's birthday, so I'm gonna go out to his party, which is basically at a cigar lounge. So gonna be chilling out there with a bunch of people, which should be pretty fun. There we go. Put this over here very fast. All right. I want to see if there's any tokens actually moving a little bit here, a little bit more today. Oh, and before I do this, oh, it actually went to top here instead of trending for once. Interesting. Before I move into this kind of stuff to see what's moving up and having a good day here, the website is coming along nicely. I'll have an update for you guys over the next few days, because I'll start promoting it here in the next week or so once it's finished up. Well, once it's up and running. It won't really ever be finished for a minute. Now, I moved the Dogecoin stream back over to the main channel because going back to tutorials and stuff like that. I think starting Monday, I don't want to like overuse my voice, so I've been kind of taking it slowly. Starting on Monday, I will have some type of tutorial or guide coming out every day. Some will be an hour, most will be 10 to 15 minutes. Well, I would say most will be 15 to 20 minutes. And it'll just be very simple stuff. So if any of you guys ever have questions and stuff like that, I'll run polls and say, hey, what type of thing do you want to talk about? Smart money concepts or Elliott waves versus whatever. I'll kind of mention that as well here, which would be kind of fun. Adobe has an AI option to summarize the key points in PDFs, not necessarily for a human to do it now. Oh yeah, exactly, right? AI is coming for everybody. So what am I doing to be above the curve? Are you thinking about boring manual businesses? Oh, what I'm doing, like to stay ahead of the AI curve? Well, I'm an entertainer, and that's kind of hard because for AI to take the place of right now, because like YouTube and the companies out there are putting in place ways for only human content to make money, right? Which is, I kind of like that, I guess. But what I'm doing is I'm building out this website right now. That's pretty much how I'm going to be making a significant amount of income here pretty soon. And it's the website, but it's going to have AI components built into it. And I don't mean like you can talk to Chat GPT or something like that, but like imagine guides built with AI, where I kind of type in a guide, or I pretty much I'll say a guide, like I'll explain something, and I'll have it make a guide for me based off of it, and I'll kind of label off different things I think people should know, and it'll kind of make a little guide there for people to want to learn and listen to. I'll talk about the best exchanges. AI will kind of help me with that type of stuff. I'll have automated newsletters sent out that kind of takes all the news from the day, puts it into a newsletter, and I'll get you guys to sign up for it eventually. And that way, let's say I'm off for the day, you guys can see everything that I thought was actually important for the day. All right. So all of that stuff is going to be happening. And then I'm having an AI team be built for me right now. God, I'm gonna be broke here in a second. All this money I'm spending, but it's investments. It's investments. Where I have, like I said before, I have a team of 5. I have 4 AIs that prioritize in different things. Then I have 1 manager AI that controls everybody. And then I tell that manager what I want accomplished for the day or for whatever. And it'll start talking back and forth. Everybody will get together. The AIs will talk. And then it'll pop out whatever I need to over the course of a few minutes to a few hours, right? Let's say that I want to come up with a course of how to use AI to become a better investor. I will have it built out the course. I will go looking through everything. I'll make adjustments to it and stuff like that. But that itself will have saved me so much time because it'll already do all the table of contents for me. It'll have a full game plan there. Where my ADHD doesn't let me kind of really see the big picture too much, the AI will help me with the big picture where I can really focus in on the details that I really care about, right? So I'm just making myself more productive, but at the same time, with the website and stuff, I'm going to have AI plugins in there because as soon as my website goes live, all of a sudden Google bots, Chat GPT bots that are scanning online for all this information, they're going to come scan the website and see what's up in there, right? So I'm going to use the AI for the SEO, you know, a lot of stuff. Part of it's like me using AI, but part of it is just AI being a really good tool that's going to help me out. So eventually, I'm going to, like I did before, I'm going to run out of ideas to make, like of what to make tutorials on, right? Then I'm going to start saying, hey, AI, I'm going to make a tutorial video every day, every other day, something like that, right? Give me a topic to make a tutorial on this, but it's going to scan online, look for highly, like I have this SEO software, right? I'm going to have it look through this SEO software, say, hey, what are people searching about crypto? What can I make a video on that has consistent evergreen potential where people can look it up for weeks and months or whatever? It'll scan online. It'll pop out a couple video ideas. Then I'm going to choose something that I am, there's a word I'm trying to think of, but, well, I know the topic. I forget, there's a fancy way of saying I know the topic, but I actually know about it so I can discuss it and I can make a video about it, right? And AI will do all the work of searching for things, figuring out where everything is and all that type of stuff, which will be very interesting. Like literally, I just spent some money this week. But one of the things I got was, I think it was called Rank Math. All right, so SEO for WordPress made easy. This is for websites and stuff like that. But if you think about it, people, Google and YouTube are the same thing. You search for the same stuff, you're going to see the same video results for the most part. But SEO plugged in, and they got Content AI over here right now. Content AI by Rank Math. Write SEO articles in one click. So it'll be something like this, but kind of more advanced. I'd say much more advanced. Because like there are certain AIs where you can, how should I say? There are certain AIs where, no, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, there are certain AIs like ChatGPT where you pay the $20 a month and you can do a lot of simple stuff, but it's not going to really do anything super complicated efficiently. Then there's other AIs that you pay per the message, like the AI doing something, you pay for it to do something, right? And it may be just a penny, it may be 5 cents, it may be 10 cents, whatever, but you're in a different ecosystem where you don't care about having a maximum amount of money you're spending. Right, so it's just a more advanced AI, and that more advanced AI doesn't have really dumb. health advisories. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is against my programming. It can do a lot more besides that, if that makes sense. So yeah, but again, this has it built in right here. Keyword research 1 minute, whereas humans take 60 minutes, right? This will be built into it, but this is more specifically for my website. But same thing, if I'm putting something on my website and I know it's going to rank on Google, I will make a YouTube video about it as well, because I know it can do pretty well, right? So a lot of cool stuff headed your way here. But it's gonna take like a week or so. My guy is starting it up today. It's gonna be a little bit larger, but again, like I said before, and imagine Investopedia. All right, it has the Nasdaq news, weakening job market, financial products, articles, market simulators. It has banking, savings accounts, checking accounts, personal, like all this random crap in here. Imagine if I just took everything about Investopedia, everything from Investopedia that has to do with crypto, and I made a website specific to that. So you go down here and you go down to the letter G, and you see all these different topics right here, right? Well, instead of me focusing on gift splitting, right, or gift of equity, or gift inter vivos, or gift in trust, or gift letter, I'm only going to be pulling out the stuff that has to do with crypto. And there's a lot of stuff in here that has to do with crypto that's not in here, because this is more of a traditional market website. I will just focus on again, this is where that thing will come in to make me content. It'll tell me what things are being searched, what terms I should have defined here. Then when I go here again, right, I'll have all of this kind of built in, but for the crypto topics. So I want to be the Investopedia of crypto. And I've been saving up for a while to do a push like this. And I really just got lucky. I have friends that know how to do this stuff for the most part. So there's just a lot of moving parts. And like, I guess not savings, or I mean, like, I'm almost drained of money right now as far as my business account, because like I am pedal to the metal pushing this stuff like crazy. So in a little bit here, once everything is pretty much done, you're gonna see me promoting this website like crazy, like crazy, and I'll make videos about it. I'll literally have you know how videos have ads built into them after like the first 15 seconds, like 10 to 15 seconds, like, hey, today's video is sponsored by so and so. I will say today's video is sponsored by thecryptomanual.com. If you guys are new to cryptocurrency, wanting to learn the basics, wanting to learn more advanced topics, whatever, come check it out. It has everything you need to know. It has a free newsletter, free paid newsletter, paid newsletter, whatever. All that type of stuff here. And maybe I have a paid newsletter, and the paid newsletter is something where the AI is doing a bunch of work to scan for all the really important stuff over the free one. Like the free one gets you the news about the weakening job data, like we talked about, some of the news we talked about today. But the paid one basically is doing a lot more work to find a lot more stuff, and doing a much more detailed and analytical newsletter that has like thought processes, but also kind of teaches you why all of these things are important at the same time. So it can be very, very, very detailed, right? Where it's almost like going to take you 10 to 15 minutes to look over everything, where the basic newsletter may take you 2 to 3 minutes to look over everything. So like nothing is set in stone, but I'm thinking about a lot of this stuff right now. Because as a business, I really want to take this to the next level, but I'm looking and I'm watching all the YouTubers out there. Not many YouTubers are really growing unless they're kind of talking a lot of bullshit right now. The only ones that are really growing, I would say, are the big mega influencers like the Benjamin Cohens, where they have like a lot of wide name recognition. So when anybody new hops into the space, they typically just go there. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my web to say, hey, if you want to learn about smart money concepts, well, check out this video that we have for you. It was made a few days ago, and yada yada yada, right? So it'll bring people over to my channel, which will be very nice as well. But like I told you, YouTube, the ads don't really make me any money. The most money I make is from the stream and talking with you guys, chilling with you guys, having a good time and stuff. But remember, Last 28 days, I've only made $220 on YouTube. Now again, I wasn't really streaming as much or doing as much stuff because I was getting ready for the new shift that I was making now. But still, you know, bleh, blah, 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 blah. And then hopefully once I get some more money coming in after I kind of get this website up and running, everything like that, I'm going to start paying for more expensive short form content, which I think will give me easy views and easy subscribers, which will grow my recognition. And then when it comes to tutorials, I'll just keep making simple tutorials that I think you guys will like. And then it'll get to a point where I can do tutorials with editing built into it, but not the editing that makes you lose track of what's happening, but the edits where like I'm talking about something on the screen and it just zooms into what I'm talking about. So I think that'd be very, very, very interesting to do over here the next few months, right? But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff. I'll also have like affiliate link things on the website where it's like, hey, here are all the exchanges for people in the United States. Oh, you live in Washington? Well, here are the exchanges that you can be in. Here are the exchanges for people that live in Singapore or China or Korea, whatever, you know what I mean? So I'm going to break down a lot of information because my goal is to target like, oh yeah, best exchanges in the United States. I want to be number one for that. Like right now, if you were to look at that, I don't know who's the best crypto in USA. Investopedia has it, right? And I would say Kraken is not a great exchange. Gemini is not a great exchange. Coinbase is okay. Crypto.com is okay. Bitmart, not. And again, is Bitmart even allowed in the United States? It is allowed in the United States. Last time I checked, it wasn't available here. They must have got back in the good old graces. But yeah, so again, lots of different stuff here. But again, I want to have every single exchange built into here and explain, oh yeah, this one is good, oh this one is horrible, like, but like be very honest about it. Be very, very honest about what's good and what's bad about it. So we'll see. And hey, bullshit, happy to see my man. Why hasn't Solana reached all-time highs? All the other coins have done it. Solana reached all-time highs a lot earlier than everybody else. I think that's basically why. You go to Solana, I mean, back it up to the monthly chart here. Hit all-time highs way back over here in January. Yeah, Ethereum is just doing what right now? So it's kind of ahead of the curve right now. Solana can definitely pump up higher, but it's definitely still going to have a big level of resistance where it was not able to really close above and break above this Fibonacci level, or I was able to break above, excuse me, not close above. So I still think it has some resistance levels around 238. But yeah, it's still good. But it already hit all-time highs way before Ethereum. Way, way before Ethereum. I think for Solana to have a really parabolic move to all-time highs like you want, there's going to have to be some ETF talk or somebody out there buying vast amounts like you're seeing Tom Lee and his company do, where he's the chairman of the company at least, that company going and buy a bunch of Ethereum, set the ETFs and all that type of stuff. That ecosystem is being built up for Solana right now, but it's not there yet. In the future, do I think a 4-year degree will be equivalent to a high school diploma? No. Just because we have trades and stuff like that. Trades are always pretty important nowadays. People can make a really great living being a freaking electrician. My mom was an electrician. I have friends that are electricians. They have money coming out more than they have more money than the white collar guys, right? And that's because the white collar guys have to usually live downtown in the city to be close to work, where the electricians, they're going wherever the job pays them to go. They choose to go. It can be a commercial building or something like that, but they can pretty much live wherever, which is a little bit nicer. A little bit more freedom, I would say. I know there are like exemptions to that, but that's kind of like the overall how I feel. I think colleges are going to have to get used to people using AI and making them be more productive. You know how a lot of times in the what's it called, engineering courses, you have to use programs and stuff like that. That they're basically going to have courses on how to use AI properly, which I think will be very, very good. But I don't think it'll be the same. college degrees to a certain point, I just don't think it's going to be the same because it's just so expensive to go to college nowadays. It's incredibly expensive. And if you're not getting the right degree, it's actually not worth it to go to college. If you go into college for the liberal arts degree, like, what are you doing? If you go into college for the art degree, what are you doing? Unless you can see yourself going to work in the world of art, maybe being an art collector's helper or something, right? But usually those people have to take 10, 15 years and stuff like that. So I don't think so. I think it'll just kind of go along the same way. But you may find that within the college system, you're going to have to understand how to use AI to be more productive. Because if not, it will be the equivalent of, hey, I have a degree, but I don't know how to use AI. Therefore, to a business, it's like you just have a college degree. That's it. You may know a little bit about the sector or whatever, but it's not going to be a great help. Hey, Tyler. Luckily, we did buy some Crow. I think the Crow, since I bought it, it's up like 220%, so I'm pretty happy right now. Why are alts like Altno dumping right now? I don't know. There might be some news about Ondo, but I haven't heard about it. Let me see. Ondo's only down about 1%. It's not doing anything. It's up 22% in the last 60 days. Last 30 days, it's down 40.4%. Last 7 days, it's up 0.4%. And last 24 hours, it's only down 1%. So it's not doing anything crazy right now, I would say. And hey, I'm happy to see my man. Hope you're doing well. I'm a field heavy equipment mechanic. Last year, I worked from home and cleared 146,000. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, people assume that you have to go to college to get like a degree to make a lot of money. I mean, like, it helps, but like, it's very, very expensive. You know what I mean? Very, very expensive. You got a lot of debt and stuff like that. Like, let me see. How much in total for education to become right, becoming a dentist requires about 8 years of post-high school education, 4 years of bachelor degree, and 4 years of dental school, which can cost upwards of $250,000. Right? How much is dental school? I'm just choosing this. Average private dental school cost is $100,000. Average public dental school cost is $42,000. Out of state non-resident is $72,000. Right? So over 4 years, a dental student can expect to pay anywhere from $227,000 to $400,000 and up. Right? And the median salary for a dentist is $179,000, right? So unless you got somebody supporting you, that $400,000, that's going to be a lot of interest on that sucker. So you got to pay it off very fast. And if you have the median salary for dentists is $180,000, right? That's great. But what, like, are you living in a nice house? You got to be like, you got to marry somebody that also has a lot of money, which not terrible if you're a dentist, right? But how do I explain it? You're going to have to live very frugally afterwards for a little bit. But afterwards, you can do great. Like, I'm not going to trust AI to clean my teeth and stuff, but I may trust AI to tell me how to improve my teeth quality or my gum quality or something. Whatever, you know what I mean? Just depends. Tuition is very, very expensive. And MK, I'm getting a little bit better here. Loki's just chilling right now. He gets excited every time I say his name, but he's just chilling right now. You're getting a cybersecurity and AI degree right now? Exactly, right? You need to have all of that right there, and that's great. And those two together, that's you're actually going to have a job when you get out, right? You're actually going to have a job. And hey, Wilder, no, there really wasn't too much news today. The big news was that the job market is still weakening. Next week we have CPI data coming out and PPI data coming out. And then tomorrow we have the jobs numbers coming out. No, we have ADP jobs coming out tomorrow. Unemployment coming out Friday. So the next few days are going to be very, very volatile. Like, I mean, we're just going to have a pretty much next 7 days of a lot of fun happening and coming our way. Ethereum on exchanges is really getting low because a lot of ETFs and private buyers are actually loading up on it. So we may see Ethereum explode in a few weeks to like a month or so once all that Ethereum is really pulled out of the system here, which could be interesting. yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, just simple stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. And the Fed is talking a little bit more about cryptocurrency than normal, which is interesting. So they got a big conference about it on the 21st of October. That was it. Froge. So there's Froge 2, and then there's Froge. Let's go to regular Froge from K6. Talk about higher lows. Market cap of 2.9 million. So this thing is extremely small. Okay. So because of that, you can see why it spikes up out of nowhere and then it kind of falls back down. For something like this, if you already have some, I think you're perfectly fine. You're just going to wait for the explosion. You might have some type of limit sell order ready to go if it hits the price target you're looking for. But the technicals aren't going to be a huge help for you right here. It's crazy because the MACD is even having trouble registering. See how it's like green on the bottom right here? That's interesting. But it did just go positive here. Last time it went positive, a few weeks later, a few days later, it actually did have a nice move. And because it's a low market cap, you don't really have to put too much in there, right? The momentum was bearish during that breakout, and you saw how it didn't really amount to anything, but I don't think this is going to do anything either. Yeah. How's the fibs been looking? Right now, it still seems bullish if you can wait it out, right? You just don't know exactly when the pump is going to happen because the pump is going to be manipulated in there. Fibonacci's not really working all that great. I would say okay, but that's not enough to base some trades off of right now. So, what's the average spike bid on this bad boy though? Well, that was like 257%, 138% over here, 400%. Hasn't even been really even following any of these resistance levels, and I guess that's because it's just such a low market cap coin. It doesn't matter, I put a lot of money in there, you should be fine. Get a bullish signal from the RSI, even though the RSI is all fucked up right there. Jesus. I still think it's bullish, but I'd rather just hold this thing, sell it whenever it spikes, because it's going to crash right back down afterwards. So if you were to buy some right now, you could even do a leverage play, and because it can still kind of drag down over time, I might have a stop loss way down here, at the 311E, 3.31E, -8. That's a lot of zeros in there. But just wait. You could either do a medium amount of money, like $100, $200 in here with no stop loss, no leverage, or you can do $10 through $50 with leverage and then kind of watch to see how it happens. I wouldn't really put too much money in there with leverage because, of course, this thing can still fall down. You're looking at the day-to-day price action here. One day it dropped 14%. If you have a 10x leverage, that's 140% right there. So I'd rather just probably do like a cash position of a couple $100, wait for it to spike, have some type of alert set through TradingView, like, the little alert button right there. You go. No, there it is. Sorry, my eyes are going bad right now. Add a little alert right there, or have some type of ping that can come along. But it seems like when I was looking that up a little bit ago on TradingView, it seemed like it might only be on a few exchanges, especially since it has a low market cap. Oops, markets. Yeah, LBAC and K6. You're probably using K6 here. K6 is where everybody's trading it too. Yeah, I'd probably just like put some money in there, spot, and let it go, and see what it can do. I probably wouldn't do too much more with it. Has a nice history of exploding, so people are going to be talking about that. But I just wouldn't play it for the heavens. If you can get 100% from it, that's absolutely fantastic, right? Hey Lois, question. No Powerball tickets. I've never really played the lottery all too much. I think I played it once a long time ago. Didn't win anything, so I was like, yeah, I don't necessarily care too much about the lotteries. I wish, but like, if the lottery wasn't taxed so heavily, I think I would actually play it more. But there's something I just don't like about the government taking so much of the winnings. It's like just giving money to your government, which I'd never like to do. So I've never really been much of a player like that. Like I'm okay giving money to the house and the casino because they're a business, right? But the government, I don't like to give them money if I don't have to. And hey, MK, these next couple weeks are going to be very interesting because the Bitcoin technicals say we should be going down right now, but every day we keep on getting drip of positive news for rate cuts, which is causing the market to go back up. Um, Again, I'm not really going long right now in terms of like big leverage positions. What I'm doing is just doing some dollar cost averaging and very boring, simple stuff. I'll wait to see what happens, but again, next couple weeks is going to be fun because we have ADP jobs numbers coming out. We got unemployment and jobs numbers coming out. Then we have CPI, PPI, inflation data coming out. There's so much fun stuff happening that can really move Bitcoin's prices. So we should be looking at a lot more volatility over those next 2 weeks, which will be great for day traders. But again, like I said, it's rare that we enter into this bearish technical phase and we don't have a nasty downward move for about a week or two. So we'll have to see. But again, yeah, I almost agree with you to a certain degree that the markets are bearish right now. But I'm just going to, play it safe and play it easy. No Powerball tickets, right? You have 33 on spot so far. I'm up 2%. Hey, there you go. That's all the money you need right there. Also, about $20 worth of Mars on the KSX exchange. KSX has been gaining some popularity here. I don't know if KSX has a token, but because their fees are so cheap, I don't know if they would necessarily have to have a token to make the fees even cheaper, right? Any thoughts on ZBCN? Let me check out the token here. I don't know if you're talking about technicals or let's see. $368 million token here. That's not terrible. I think I've seen this before. Decentralized infrastructure network for seamless flows of real world value. What is the value they're talking about? Payroll. Okay. Something like this, I would typically want to hold for a long period of time. Well, they also have a Telegram bot going now. So when I see stuff like this, my priority would be to buy some and just hold it and then watch it over a period of years. Now, you could always sell during a bear market and buy back at a lower price and just get more and more assets, more and more tokens. But as far as the chart's concerned, it's bouncing off the 20-week moving average right now. I remember we were talking about the bearishness of if you wanted to buy this, don't buy it above this line right here. You're primarily going to want to buy it below this red line right there. So that's what I would probably still stick with. I'd probably wait a little bit more. This also does have a little bit of a red, a bearish momentum starting to shift up here with the bearish MACD, stochastic, and RSI. What's interesting though is we did have this before, I guess when it was a little bit newer. Didn't really matter much. You saw a little bit of bearish with the stochastic and that RSI maybe, but it looked terrible. Let me go over here very fast. It's still not looking great. That momentum has still been shifting down for a minute. You've already had that last breakdown, breakup structures here. You're probably going to have a lower high going into a lower low, plus they have that death cross. But what was the last time we saw this? Hasn't really been honoring it all too much here, to be honest. Let's try this way, the regular. a little bit, I would say, but I would still say this one looks a little bit more bearish in the short term. Maybe that's just because I'm thinking of Bitcoin and how everything is kind of going, but this thing already has that bearish momentum already, so I'd probably stick around and be like, hey, I'd wait a little bit before buying into it. Or if you already have some, I would just let it know it may go low, a little bit lower, so you can just chill and kind of wait it out, or dollar cost average in a few weeks if you want to. And hey, CT, I appreciate it, man, for being dank. I appreciate that a lot. How do I? It won't let me like it. There you go. I gave it a heart. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Appreciate you, CT. Can I look at Dogelon Mars? I can look at Dogelon Mars. I think it's actually on my watch list here. Dogelon Mars has come down a lot because Elon Musk himself has become, how would you say it? His social capital has really decreased since he went against Trump. Like, Trump took his money and spat him out. It was kind of crazy. I can't find it. I'll just type it in here. Oh, it's making fresh lows here. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm lost in this one too. My average is like way up here. I'm holding because I believe during an altcoin season this can still go higher, but I'm not dollar cost averaging into it anymore. My original average was like up here, and I've dollar cost averaged over here. So I'm not doing anything else with this one, but still bearish. You can definitely see it continue to break down here. It may be a meme slowly dying, but Elon Musk hasn't really been relevant in society for a minute. Again, I haven't really been on social media that much, but have you heard about Elon Musk that much over the last few months? Besides like him just losing this battle or losing that battle, or Teslas are not selling as well, or AI, robo taxis. I don't know. I just haven't really heard much from him. And hey, Sol, happy to see my man. Thoughts on Matic? Matic is interesting. So Matic is something that has not been doing well for me over the long term, as you guys might imagine. My average is that red line right there. So I am down quite a bit. Or if you check out my portfolio, what am I down? It'll tell me exactly what I'm down. Yeah, 56%. Ooh. But this still has some momentum on our side, which I think is pretty good. I think we are running into a little bit of resistance as the 50-day moving average comes along, but give it some time to consolidate. It may come back down a little bit more. I think closer to October, November is when we can have a spike. Probably get rejected over here eventually, but if we're lucky, we should have a really seismic move that can get us back over here. I don't think Matic is going to be hitting all-time highs this cycle, unfortunately, but I do think there's a way for anybody that bought over the past couple of years to make some money here. People are going to be buying in when it's spiking. I'm going to be selling everything. I'm not holding any Matic after this bull market's over. I'm done with it. But yeah, I'm still optimistic of what can happen over the next few months with Matic. I expect it to go well above the 64-cent mark, so I'll be able to make a little bit of profit and sell it. But I'm not buying back into it or anything like that. It's been rough. Even look at the monthly chart here. Oh, you know what I mean? We're definitely gonna hit some resistance up here, but yeah, it's just not what I want to see from a token. Medium term though, like over the next few months, yeah, I should do great. Really excited to see what happens next few days. A little bit more bearishness probably coming in just with Bitcoin, and you're seeing it hit this level of resistance where it's had trouble closing by the end of the week. So wouldn't be surprised if we're starting to get rejected here. Come back down a little bit more. Again, that's fine. Then sometime next week, the week after, we start to see Matic go back up here to breaking above these levels of resistance, having the golden crosses really have a larger effect, and then, making some short-term profit if you want to do some like swing trading, right? Spell token? Yeah, I own some spell token, but just like what do you call? I think my spell token is pretty much worthless right now, isn't it? Here's the monthly chart. This one looks better than the other one, the Doge on Mars, but this one's pretty much been flat. And again, you can imagine my average being around here. Not as nearly as bad because it hasn't kept on falling. But yeah, I'm not profitable with spell token at all right now. I'm hoping it gets a little bit better here. But I will say that I am more optimistic about this one than I am Doge on Mars. This thing, for example, this month candle right here, it ran up around 195%. This one, it ran up around 82%. This one, it ran up 183%. So it can definitely have these big moves. Next time it spikes, I'll probably sell some for a profit. It just has a bad history of just coming straight back down. Right? It's just not as nice as you would expect it. But this isn't nearly as bad as the other one, right? It's only back to, yeah, we're all holding bags, man. I was so hopeful for Matic. It just has not been able to stay ahead of the curve and be innovative and things like that. It just really has not been able to do that so far. But you know what? It'll get better, right? But anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a night right now. I can hear my throat already getting a little bit more sore from me talking, which is why I haven't done a tutorial today. Just know, guys, a lot of news coming out. I'll be live tomorrow. Probably won't be live at night on Friday. I'm going to try to go live midday, even though it's my day off. I'm just going to try to go live with you guys because that news is going to be important for the unemployment numbers and stuff like that. What else? We're talking about the website, the channel, and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Get ready for a lot more tutorials and stuff like that. I'll be making a lot of smart money ones. Some may seem repetitive. Some will be about MACDs and momentum, but like I may show you guys a strategy where there is no smart money concepts. It's literally just having the oscillators and then looking at the oscillators. When all three go green, you're good to go, right? So I'll be breaking down all of those strategies for you over the next few weeks and months. I'm hopeful that when the website comes in, I'll be making more money off of the channel and the business. And by doing that, I should be able to, well, really just reinvest like crazy. You know, maybe, I don't know what I actually do with money. I don't really spend too much. I buy some nice cigars and I'll just, you know, start reinvesting. So hopefully you guys all have a great rest of your night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Loki over here wants to say goodnight. Where's Loki at? Oh, yes. Where's Loki? Can we over here? Oh, yeah. You guys can't see him, but he's over here. Here, I'll slide over here. Loki, come here. Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Well, you can't lick me, but I can give you head pets. Loki, do you want to say anything to the audience? No? Where's Loki at? Yeah, there. Okay. See you guys.